Hi. Welcome to the world of bliss. I'm your host, L.A. I'm here with my friend Matt.
Hey.
Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to discuss what it's like to be an artist. I know that sounds silly, but a lot of people want to pursue art as a career, and maybe they get stopped by old people's views on like that you can't make it or do what you want with it. But I say that's not right. You should just follow your heart. So that's why I wanted to ask you, Matt. How did you get into art? Did you know at a very young age? What was the beginnings of it?
Beginnings of it? Well, I started doing art at a super young age. I was in the high chair. Story goes, I was still in the high chair, and my mom handed me a pen and a piece of paper. And not only was I into it, she said I was engrossed in it. So,
oh, fascinating.
My parents would bring me out. I'd go to the restaurant and as a really little kid, and they just hand me a pen and a piece of paper, and sometimes they'd get looks like I was too young to be out in a restaurant. But after a while, like, no one even knew I was there.
You must have been a fantastic, well-behaved kid for the fact that you
super busy.
Yeah.
I was good in restaurants.
Yeah.
Little mischievous, but I was good in restaurants.
That's nice. Yeah, because they always have like the crayons and the little piece of paper for kids to draw on, and
yes.
You were all about that. Were you in the lines, or were you always out of the lines?
I was all about it, and honestly, my favorite, like if we went to a place with paper placemats or a paper tablecloth, I was like in heaven. Same. And kind of still am.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I would still doodle to this day on anything if they gave me crayons, or I maybe just even pull out a pen from my purse.
I'm usually prepared.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got a pen on right now.
Yeah, I'm just usually just ready to go.
Nice. He's wearing his pants, too, from the studio. It's all filled with paint.
Wearing my painting pants, yeah.
Now, did you paint your pants, or was this kind of like you didn't have something to wipe your brush on?
This is just a result of wearing my painting cloth. I'm just wiping my brushes, wiping my screen.
You could probably sell that for like $200, by the way.
My screening.
I mean, for real.
Yeah. They actually go for $800.
Oh, $800. Excuse me. Yeah, that makes more sense actually if it's by the actual painter.
Yeah. You just
have to make sure you wear the same size.
These aren't labeled, but I do have some. I do custom.
So tell us about.
I do custom jeans actually.
Tell us about the art you do.
Gosh, I do all kinds of art. People that know my art, most of the people who know my art, who've known it for a longer time, know me for my money, the money art. I do. I design the presidents to look like the different members from KISS, and each denomination has a different band member. The most, the most common $5 bill, Gene Simmons, is also the most recognizable. So the people who know my art for a long time, a lot of them know me from that, but I don't.
Did you ever do like a big amount, like $100 bill?
Yes.
Did you, when you were doing it, be like, I'm actually putting $100 bill down, and
I mean,
am I going to pay rent?
Every time I do it, I'm taking something out of circulation that I otherwise could spend. So yeah, the bigger bills are they're not as plentiful.
Yeah.
But when I make a set of the band, the 5, 10, 20, and 50, I'm effectively taking $85 of my money out of circulation.
Exactly. And so
until I sell it. And then, I got to frame it. And
yeah. So that's why his art's expensive. Not only is he putting in his own money, literally. Like he's actually adding more to that. Supplies, framing.
Yes.
All that stuff. So that's why, art can be really expensive. I think a lot of times we can see art and say, that's not that hard, or like, I can do that, or like, but you have to imagine like all the time they put into that, hour wise, and then the framing, like you said, and the supplies and.
Well, just the time.
Yeah.
Just the time it takes to think of this stuff. I mean,
yeah. It's not just like something you think of you could just think about it when you're making noodles, but it could be a longer process than that. It could be like an idea that develops over months, years.
And you could think about it when you're doing noodles, and then it could take a million years to execute it. And just trying to get it right. I feel like each time I do a painting or a print or a drawing or something, it's just me trying to get it right from the last time I did it.
Right, because a lot of...
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like a lot of times in art, you see something in your head, but then actually to make it into the physical world, it sometimes isn't... It's not going to be what you thought of, which could be great, and then also frustrating, too, because you're like, well, it wasn't exactly what I wanted, and I just had to let it go at that point. Do you feel that way, too?
Well, sometimes it's hard to let it go, especially if you've been working on it for a while. I'd like to at least try to take the mistakes and turn them into... something
another form of art.
Another form, or another, like, turn it into something else and see what I could do with it.
Yeah.
I had that happen to me a week ago. I was working on a series of bills. I was actually signing the very last one. It was a set of 4. And the pen ran on the very last one, and it bled all over in, like, black acrylic paint. And,
but could that be viewed as kind of cool? Like, that was the end of it. Like,
no.
It just went...
No, I had to fix it. I wound up fixing it. I fixed it with spray paint, and it came out even, cooler than it would have, because I never would have thought to do that.
This was a happy mistake.
It was done.
Yeah.
It was, I could have done without it.
Right.
I definitely could have done without it. But it came out better than I think it would have had it not happened.
So if you're a neurotic person, do you think that could be a good attribute for being an artist?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all you neurotic people out there.
Oh yeah.
There's
hope.
There's hope. You can be an artist.
Yeah, I work on several paintings at once sometimes, or several projects at once. If one thing is drawing.
Yeah. You're like, what do I do with this time? Exactly. It's like idle hands, and then like that's kind of how I am with like. Sometimes I do that with cleaning. So, like, I'll start in, like, the kitchen, and then something brings me into the bedroom, and then I'm like, that needs to be cleaned, and then now, all of a sudden, I have, like, 8 cleaning projects on my hands, and then I have to finish them all, which is crazy. So sometimes I'm just like, don't do that. Yeah. Whereas, like, if you get high and then go clean, you're like, oh, God, I just got really deep into deep dive cleaning, and then not telling anybody to do drugs, but then you're like, oh my God, this needs clean. And you're like, God, I really need to deep clean this fridge right now. And then then you're spending like 8 hours of your day. But at the same time, you're like, that was an awesome spring cleaning. So
I find better things to do when I'm high, but not judging.
I do too. But like, if I really want to clean.
If I clean, I have to have a deadline, and like, then I'll clean, and I'll do it all at once.
But you know that you can burn a lot of calories cleaning, into the thousands.
Okay.
So, it's kind of like you're losing weight, you're sweating out your toxins, and you're getting a deep dive clean.
Right. How much of that is just from being neurotic and standing there and sweating it out and fuck, what do I do next?
I don't know. Sometimes I really like a deep dive clean. I don't know.
Well, if you ever feel like a deep dive clean.
No. Well, actually, you know what's funny?
There's plenty of
I used to do this to my friends in high school. I would go to my friends who had a messier room than me, and I would totally organize it and clean it. And then I would get a little disappointed.
You haven't seen the
I haven't done that in a long time, so hold your roll. But I did it to my friend Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa. And But then like 2 weeks later, it'd be exactly how I found it. And I'd be like super disappointed. But I didn't mind. I don't know. You know, I guess when you're a teenager, you don't have a whole lot of stuff to do.
Like, I like having stuff within like reach. Doesn't need to
make sense.
Doesn't need to look pretty to everyone else. I just
honestly, I'm looking around and nothing's crazy out of whack. So you're cool. I wouldn't even touch your stuff because I would say that you've got it mostly under control. So.
It's mostly under control. There's a room with the door and it's closed and just
I haven't seen that
everything in there.
I haven't seen that room. Yeah. I dare not to go in. But let's talk about art more.
Yes.
Okay, so
what do you want to know?
What I want to know is like. I'm sure, was there any points where you're like, I just want to give up?
In high school, I started exploring other like creative outlets, you know?
Which were?
Which were music, acting.
Okay.
I got into acting.
Okay. The more physical arts.
The more just experiential arts. Yeah. It wasn't that I stopped drawing or stopped wanting to draw. I just kind of had put it on pause for a little bit.
Right.
You know, I had a group of friends, and it was a friend of mine was an artist. He was really good. And then there was another dude in high school, and I made the mistake of comparing myself to other artists.
Don't do that.
It was just the death of an artist, and they were great at like realism, and I don't do realism. I don't have the patience for it.
Right.
And I kind of at that, teen years thought that was kind of the benchmark for arts, but I was wrong.
Yeah.
But it got me into like my acting class. I went to Beverly High and we had an amazing theater program, a theater arts program. So I figured I'm here. I might as well like get into it. And I didn't expect to like love it as much as I did.
Well, I feel like when I go see other people's art, it inspires me creatively and in a way where I can go back and do something that's maybe not even related to that kind of medium and then pull out some creativity from seeing someone else's art. So I like seeing other people's art, but I agree with you. Like if you try to compare yourself or try to think like you should do what this person's doing, that's usually when you kind of, I think you're second guessing, like actually what you're doing.
You're second guessing, but just, there's always someone who's going to be like more skilled at something,
Right.
And so, I'm really good at cartoons and commentary, and like I always have been, and people like my cartoons. But when I try to do, realism, even if it resembles what it is I wanted to create, it still looks like a cartoon to me. Right. And it's just, I don't have the patience. It seems like
that's just you shining through it.
It's just me. Yeah. It's just, I think for a while, just being frustrated with, not getting on the paper what it was that was in my head. But then in my 20s, going back and embracing that and sort of getting into the difference of, my interpretation of whatever it is that I see,
Do you think, so another thing I want to cover, I don't know what I was looking for, I guess an armrest, but anyways, do you feel like, I think where people also get trapped in the art world is you want that validation that your art is like something to someone else. And a lot of people attach that to like a monetary thing. Do you think that, like, is that necessary for you to validate yourself is to get paid for your work? I mean, everybody wants to get paid, but do you feel like that's something that should stop you from continuing to be an artist? Is that maybe you're missing I
don't think so, because it's one of the harder things for an artist to do is to actually sell. The business of selling is completely different than making art. And if you're getting your peace of mind from making art, you should create art, Right. If you're making it to sell, obviously
you're doing it for the wrong reason.
It depends. It just depends. The goal is to make a living as an artist.
Right.
Right. Course. So, you want to sell, you want that kind of validation, but it's not the everything.
Right.
It can't be.
You can't put that limit on yourself. Like, I think we've all been kind of programmed to think that, like, at a certain age that we're supposed to do this and sell this and be this success. But I think sometimes, like, I'm a prime example. Maybe you are too. I'm not sure. But it's taken me a long time for my journey to keep going up. And it's not like, here's drops a bunch of success right in my lap right now. It's just been little successes along the road, just like, and they keep coming, but they're not like where it's earth shattering and like everybody from your hometown knows who you are now on a big playing field. They just don't see the little successes. And I think sometimes like people don't understand that, like, that might be your journey of like the little successes that keep going and keep building throughout your life. You know what I mean? And that shouldn't be undervalued either.
No, I mean, all your successes should be celebrated. Just making something and finishing it, like completing something is a win.
Yes, it is.
You get the satisfaction of actually completing something. And now, when I make something or think of something or like a lot of times when I find a material that I want to work on, it inspires me to make a series or inspires me to see something on there that I now have experience. I know what to do and I know how to do it and I can make it and I can get that satisfaction of completing it, when it's done.
I agree with you. There's been a lot of different art mediums that I've gotten into over my life. And I agree, like the finished product has got like such a thrill. Like you can hold it in your hands or view it on, the TV or something and then just be like, wow, all that, half the time it's suffering in my own mind to get it done and to be proud of it and get it to where I want it to be. And then finally presenting it and being like, you know what, this is it. This is the result. No matter if I think it's perfect or not, this is what I'm presenting. And yeah, there's so much joy to it because you could just be like, yes, I accomplished something. I made something happen. I can now look at it. And then, years from now, I can look back on it and see like, I don't know. For me, it's just like when I finish something, that just propels me to do something even greater the next time. So like, I just keep like trying different things. And when I put it out for the world, I'm just like, this was where I was at that moment. And this is what I could do. And I'm excited to see what else I could do. I mean, that's just my process and like how I am. But yeah, the finished product, man, it's just something like,
I mean, it's a reward.
Thrilling.
It's a reward itself,
Yeah.
You finish it because, you start something and it's just a blank canvas or a blank piece of wood or whatever. Turn it into something that other people are going to stop and look at. It's fun.
And what I like about your art is you do a lot of repurposing. So tell everyone what you repurpose.
I like to repurpose. I work in fashion as well. So when I work on leather, I like to buy vintage leather and repurpose it. I don't like to go out and buy new leather,
Which is great. It's great for the animals.
It's great for the animals. It's good, just lowering my carbon footprint. I want to be a friend of the animals. Obviously, I don't feel good about buying leather anymore. But if I buy it and it's already
made,
in the
and there's
universe,
something about like an old vintage piece is just so.
And I don't feel so bad about wearing it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to wear it.
Yeah.
And it's better quality than a lot of other shit
It's better
out there.
It's better quality. The Indians used to do the same thing, but they didn't buy cheap stuff. They made real stuff. And I feel it's kind of cool. There's a story in that jacket that you don't even know about.
Use it forever. And leather, I wear leather. I have shoes I've had for 10 years.
Same. Well, no, that's not true. Not with shoes. But
I've had my dogs for a long time. Red leather jackets.
I'm weird with shoes. I run them to it's like, what did you do? Run 1,000 miles in these things? But at least I get them, and sometimes I even go to the shoe man and be like, can you fix these for the third time? They work magic. I don't know how they do it.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. But, and then you repurpose furniture pieces?
I repurpose, along with clothes, I like to repurpose wood furniture. I repurpose.
Where do you get your furniture from?
It just depends. Like either
the alley,
someone will give it to me, or I'll get it from Craigslist, or wherever. It just depends.
It just has to be working. Right?
It just has to be flat. It just depends on what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a store that I go to that has a lot of really high quality, inexpensive furniture. They're always they're always recycling. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have to get a tip from you later.
Oh yeah.
You never know. You're moving around here in LA.
On the down low.
On the down low. Must be somewhere nearby.
Oh, actually, no.
No?
I'm not near you.
Melrose?
No.
Koreatown?
It's not in Koreatown.
Okay. I'll find out later. So what else? What else do I want to know about your world?
Repurposing. Okay, I was saying I repurpose a lot of wine boxes.
Okay.
Because I love the wood.
Nice.
Right? And the way that the paint and the wood soaks up the pigment from the paint and the ink.
Oh, nice.
The series that I'm doing right now is it's a desk that I've taken apart. I found a desk on the side of the road, and it was actual wood. A lot of them were crap, Formica. So I was driving by, and I have an eye for wood. I just was right up the street from the Laugh Factory. Pulled over, threw them in my car, came home, took them apart with my hammer, my screwdriver.
You should put an ad out and be looking for.
I have so much.
You have
so much material right now. Yeah, it's not hard to find.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I have some barn doors on the side of the house. So I have plenty.
Wow, barn doors. That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you gonna put your?
They're barn doors for a shed, so they're probably about this high, two of them together.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Are you hoping that someone will use them as barn doors or just as an art piece?
No. It's gonna be just a piece of diptych.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that you work with glitter.
I love glitter.
I do too.
I love glitter. Pink is my favorite color. So little splashes of pink in almost everything. You'll see.
Not afraid to use pink.
Love it.
These are his birds, by the way,
Those
back
are my
here.
Birds. Those are my birds.
And
some of those birds went to Japan with me. Some that I brought to Japan didn't come back. Those came back with me.
So you had some sales in Japan?
I had some sales in Japan, yeah.
Amazing.
I got into a gallery in Ginza in Tokyo, and then I got into an art fair as well. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love Japan. I want to go back to Tokyo.
Oh my gosh. I want to go to Japan so bad. So if Japan wants to invite us.
Yeah, I'm there. My passport is good.
Yeah, my passport is good too. So what is next for you? I know you just got a new manager, right?
I'm working with Moby Arts. Yes.
Very
we just
cool.
started working together a month ago. We did a show.
Now, did she find you, or did they?
We knew each other from just common friends in the art world.
So are you saying that it's important to get out in the art community to meet someone like a manager?
We have a similar mentor. We had the same mentor, Richard Eduardo, who is a big fan and a big master printer and artist in his own right.
But how did you make those contacts? Do you feel like it was just you going to other people's galleries? See, you're brand new.
I met her, like I said, through Richard. And Richard had a group of artists that he worked with. And so he was a master printmaker. So he had a whole collective of artists that he would work with in different stages of their career. And I was literally in the very beginning stages of my career and meeting other people.
Out in the scene, right?
Out, just at his studio.
But how did you get to his studio?
I met him at LACMA.
So you met him at a museum.
It was a chance meeting. I went to see Mr. Bitchin', which is a film about Robert Williams. Huge fan of Robert Williams and the whole lowbrow scene. And I went to see it. It premiered at LACMA. Richard was there. And I started talking to him. He's a very interesting fellow. He's kind of stood out in the crowd. And we started chatting. I showed him, I had one of my $5 bills that I had turned into Gene Simmons. And
on you?
On me, yeah. And he was fascinated. He bought it. He wanted to purchase it right there. And he did. I let him buy it. He gave me his card, said that I should come by the shop, and actually took me seriously as an artist. And it was cool.
Wow.
It was very cool. I went by his studio. He introduced me to other people who were at different stages of their career doing art. And, it's one thing to get validation from, gallery, but it's another thing to get
validation from another artist, right?
Mutual respect from another artist, someone whose work that you really admire. So that was cool. Being in that environment was really supportive, and that's So
do you recommend like other young artists starting out to just get out and other people's just the art scene?
Just go to galleries. Yeah, go to galleries. Find galleries that are putting stuff out there that you like. Go to the shows, meet the artists that you admire, and a lot of artists in LA are really supportive. I find, like for me, I want to see other artists that I know do well, and I think a lot of the artists here feel the same way. They're very supportive, and so you meet people, and there's little scenes and little cliques, and little galleries have their tribes that they support, and you meet different people in different places, and everyone kind of knows someone from this pool or someone from that pool, and you just get around. I mean,
if somebody lived in like Oklahoma where there's not much going on, do you recommend them moving to a big city? Do you think
that I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you what the scene is in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I don't know either, just to be
I don't know.
frank. But I'm just saying, I'm from a small town, and I knew if I wanted to do anything artistic, I had to get out of my small town.
I mean, that's hard to say. I mean, I'm from LA. I'm a city kid.
Yeah, so he's from LA
I'm
originally.
a lifer. I'm born and bred here, dude.
Dude.
But as LA goes, there's different pockets of LA. As you've been here. It's so spread out, and it's so like, traffic is its own thing, and it takes so long to get to different parts of LA. People tend to stay in their own pockets. So there's a little Venice scene.
This is true.
And there's an East Side scene, and there's a scene over here, and there's different. There's a NoHo scene.
There's a NoHo scene. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what would be some advice for someone starting out in art? Like if say they're in high school, they see that they have some talent, they've been aware of it, maybe their teacher said something. What would you recommend? Like just any pointers. Obviously everyone's road's going to be different.
Right.
But if there's something that you wanted to tell your younger self, what would it be?
I mean, draw every day. There was, like I was talking about that, there was a time in high school when I diverged and I got into acting, which I don't regret.
Right.
But, that time where I was comparing myself to other people and sort of just put the pen down for a little bit.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
All right.
There's no point.
So
there's no point.
Do it every day.
Do it every day.
Do it every day. Don't compare yourself to others.
Do not compare yourself to others, and don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid to fuck up, because
there we go.
You fuck up and it can become something cool.
That's true. Like I would have loved to seen that little like pen run out, and then maybe thought that's the end of his series. I could have taken it into a whole other direction in my mind and been like, oh, maybe that's what it meant. But really his pen ran out. Okay, so you just never know.
Oh no, it just bled.
That could be in the statement too. Art is subjective. But
no, it was not.
But
it was not.
that.
It was not a happy accident. But I turned it into something because at that point there was no turning back.
Right.
was a set of 4 bills.
Yeah.
And 3 of them were exactly the way I wanted. And there was the 4th bill, and I couldn't just scrap the whole set.
Right.
You know, I debated just doing that 1 bill over, but time was a factor in it. And
yeah.
It was not a realistic option. So what can I do to fix it?
Right.
And how am I going to do it? And how am I going to do it now? I have to do it now.
Yeah.
And I did, and I figured out a way, and it looked even better than it did before. So,
right? Sometimes when you have, quote unquote, bad things happen, it's actually a good thing. So try not to be so hard on yourself, and like sometimes roll with it, like you just stayed calm, right? Maybe you had a mini freak out, but then you gotta reel it back in, stay calm, and then see it. Like, you got back into your senses.
Fuck.
One of those moments.
Where I was sitting there, and then I had to wipe the fucking paint off my hand, because if I touched anything, I would get more ink on shit.
So it took more time.
It wasn't just like, it was like,
It's like spaghetti on the floor. You're like, gah. I did that one time.
I was going to eat that shit. You can't eat. No, it gets on the floor. You can't fucking eat it either.
No, that's true. I dropped a whole entire pizza on the carpet.
Oh, God.
Cheese down. I had no shame. I just picked that shit back up and ate it. It wasn't that great, but you know what? That was my dinner. So I had a hairy pizza.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
Hey. Protein. It's protein.
Yeah, I should have not even eat the pizza, but I was on a budget, so I ate the pizza, fibers and all.
You. Ramen is good for that.
I'm a rock star. I just was toughening my stomach up, so.
Yeah, you can never have that tolerance to, like, strong.
So where can we find your art for people who do not live in LA?
You just open your eyes and look in every direction in the house.
No, I mean, like, if somebody wanted to buy something.
Well, people can easily DM me on Instagram. I'm pretty easy to find.
What's your Instagram?
I have my name on Instagram at Matthew Weinberg.
With an ERG at the end.
Yeah, with an ERG at the end.
Weinberg.
You put a little thing right here when you edit. It's going to be right there.
Or in the link below. But yes, I will put your info.
Right here.
Okay, I'll put it right there for you.
Right here.
Oh, on the heart. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Matt. I hope this helps somebody out there for, I just wish I had YouTube back in the day to tell me how to maybe give me some hints. I feel like some people just don't even tell you the real deal, but I'm glad we touched on some of the stuff that maybe real people go through, and it's not just all fluff. So,
well, come back if you think of anything else.
Not in this brain, not right now, but we can do a part 2. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming by. See ya.
Ciao for now.
And now back to our sponsors. Oh, wait, we don't have sponsors. But you can be one. Just look down below for the links on how you can sponsor.